Yeah, start this one off a little bit weird. You know what? Might not be expecting this based on the title of the video, but indulge me for a minute. 2021, for a multitude of reasons, has been the worst year I have ever lived through. And without, making this all about me, I just want to tell you that, again, if I survived through 2021 and it was the worst year that I've ever lived through, I'm doing pretty good. Doing really good, to be completely honest. All things considered, it sucked for a multitude of reasons, but I'm still happy to be here. Still happy to have an audience. Maybe not on this channel, but on my other channel. That's terrific. And outside of the confines of YouTube, I have a wonderful family that I love dearly. I've got a bunch of different activities that I'm very passionate about. I have a bunch of books that I want to read. Okay, I've got a few different activities that I just, am very passionate about. And I live a very, very happy, grateful life, and I want to be able to share that with you guys. And that's the entire point of this channel. Okay, take a less reactionary take on the world and try to, hey, spread some kind of a joy out there. So here are the profound health benefits of being grateful. Yeah, okay, I don't know what we're going to be getting to in this one, but you know what? Just setting your mind to just being grateful about a bunch of things is probably going to let you realize that the world, it might suck, okay? It might come at you from 1,000 different directions, but you're stronger than that, and you can get through it. Gratitude is a simple practice that can have a profound effect on your health and well-being. Positive effects linked to gratitude include social, psychological, and physical benefits, which increase the more you make gratitude a regular part of your daily routine. The limits of gratitude's health benefits are really in how much you pay attention to feeling and practicing gratitude, said neuroscientist Glenn Fox, a graduate expert at University of Southern California at USC. Congratulations. Great gig if you can get it. It's very similar to working out. That's awesome. And the more you practice, the better you get. The more you practice, the easier it is for you to feel grateful when you need it. Exactly. And you never know when you're going to need it. You never know when life is going to hit you like a ton of bricks. How gratitude changes your brain. All right, gratitude has distinct neurobiological effects, including the brain's regions associated with interpersonal bonding and stress relief. When Fox and colleagues told the stories of survivors of Holocaust to elicit gratitude in 23 female subjects, they found that the ratings of gratitude correlated with brain activity in the anterior cingulate cortex and medial prefrontal cortex, which is associated with moral cognition, value, judgment, and the theory of mind. The theory of mind is a psychological term that refers to our capacity to understand other people by attributing mental states to them. Now, it's a pretty good compare and contrast because you got regular everyday life and you got the Holocaust. So you should be pretty grateful that you aren't living through those times, unless of course you're in certain Australian camps right now, but another topic for probably another channel. Fox grew deeply interested in gratitude after his mother's death from ovarian cancer. That sucks. So during her illness, she would send her studies of benefits of gratitude in cancer patients, and she kept a gratitude journal in her final years. So still trying to work hard and not focusing on her, well, quite frankly, evil ending to life. In one example, 92 adults with advanced cancer engaged in mindful gratitude journaling or routine journaling. After 7 days, those who kept a gratitude journal had significant improvements in measures of anxiety, depression, and spiritual well-being, so much so that researchers concluded that mindful gratitude journaling could positively affect the state of suffering, psychological distress, and quality of life of patients with advanced cancer. That's pretty terrific, especially through such a incredibly trying time. Grateful people tend to recover faster from trauma and injury. That's good. Fox told The Pulse, and they tend to have better and closer personal relationships and may even just have improved overall health. Yeah, because you have the release of different hormones in your body, especially when you're stressed, and then when you're not stressed, you don't have that consistent release of stress hormones in your body that have a multitude of different physiological detriments to your body, you aren't releasing those on a consistent basis. This seems to check out there. So if you just wanted to correlate the couple of different things that we talk about a lot on the channel, you know what, having a better mindset, and then also the effects of hormones on your body, there you go. The more you know. So stick around. As it turns out, putting your gratitude in a word can be an effective way to improve your mental health. Among 293 adults who sought psychotherapy services, those who engaged in gratitude writing reported significantly better mental health after 4 and 12 weeks than those who didn't write or who wrote about their thoughts and feelings. Well, that's interesting. How about just basic health? Basic health benefits, okay? Gratitude can be difficult to define as the elements of emotion, virtue, and behavior are all rolled into one. Gratitude involves a two-step process, as explains in The Science of Gratitude, a white paper by the Greater Good Science Center at the Institute of at the University of California, Berkeley. And the two steps include 1, recognizing that one has obtained a positive outcome, and 2, recognizing that there is an external source for the positive outcome. In this regard, the benefits of gratitude may be gleaned from the actions of other people or experienced in an internalized manner, such as when feeling gratitude about good fate or nature. In this way, gratitude is both a state and a trait. In the state, gratitude is based on a person's ability to be empathetic and experience grateful emotions that promote pro-social behavior. As a trait, it describes the practice of being grateful, noticing the little things in life, and appreciating the positives in the world and in other people. Gratitude can be felt from both being helped by others and habitually focusing on the good in life. Gratitude can help your sleep and be less materialistic. 2 other things that we talk about a lot. Gratitude is known to facilitate improvements in healthy eating. Okay, and it benefits depression by enhancing self-esteem and well-being. In 2021, a study comparing gratitude and optimism similarly found that both traits were associated with a lower heart rate and blood pressure, better sleeping quality, more exercise, less stress, positive expectations and reflections, greater feelings of appreciation towards others. Basically, if you're gracious and you're optimistic about life, seems to be that you're just overall a better person. Okay, feeling grateful can help you sleep better and longer, perhaps by improving your thoughts prior to sleep. Yeah, and those hormonal responses that we previously singled out. The relationship between gratitude and each of the sleep variables was mediated by more positive pre-sleep cognitions and less negative pre-sleep cognitions. A study of the Journal of Psychosomatic Research reads, those who scored higher in measures of gratitude had better sleep quality and sleep durations, as well as sleep latency, the amount of time it takes you to fall asleep, and daytime dysfunction. Further, people who are more grateful tend to be happier, less materialistic, and less likely to suffer from burnout. Among adolescents, the simple practice of keeping a gratitude journal significantly reduces materialism and negative effects on materialism on generosity. Those who wrote down and those who were grateful or donated for 60% more their earnings to charity, for instance. Interesting. There's good reason to teach children the importance of gratitude, as doing so can improve school importance and orient individuals towards a positive life approach. I don't see what the detriment of this is, and I can just tell you that making conscious moves in order to improve my just overall disposition, because I'll just tell you my natural disposition in life is just being a miserable person. Okay, I just want to dunk on people all day long, and sometimes on the main channel I'll indulge in that certain predilection to my personality, but sometimes it's funny. But then at the end of the day, I just want to, just wrap it around. It's like, hey, we're all just having some fun here, and I think, spreading some humor every once in a while, and there's no harm in that, especially if it's somebody or some situation that is in need of a proper beating. But working on not taking any of that stuff terribly personal, and knowing exactly what you control and what you do not, and how to properly orientate yourself in life. That's far more important, and that'll lead you to a much more optimistic outlook, even as dark as certain situations present themselves as being. It's not always going to be like this. The world just continues whether we're here or not. So that might sound like it's dark and depressing, but it's really not, okay? It's like the Stoic motto, of Memento Mori, that loosely translated to remember you will die. Eventually, all of this stuff is going to be over. You could leave the world right now, and this is the last thing that you do, and my face is the last one that you will see, and know that you have lived a complete life. And any time after this moment right here, it's just bonus time. It's all gravy. You've already lived your life. There's nothing you can do about the past. It's all about making a better future. You should be optimistic about that, because the opportunity to do something good in the future, I take that every day of the week. That's how I orientate myself and live my life. Positive gratitude interventions. If you're not a particularly grateful person by disposition, by nature, yeah, that would be me. And I didn't even know this was coming up, and that's why I shared that story. You might not, or you might have to work on your gratitude skills. Fortunately, gratitude is something that you can practice. I'm proof positive of that, my friends. I think that gratitude can be much more like a muscle, like a trained response or a skill that we can develop over time as we learn to recognize abundance of gifts and things that we didn't previously notice as being important. And that, in and of itself, is its own skill that can be practiced and manifested over time. Rather than a magic bullet, it's a regular practice that being grateful makes a difference. According to Fox, it's like water cutting a rock through a canyon. It's not done all at once. Steady practice is where you start to get things done. Exactly. Maybe that's why I was a little bit more predisposed to just changing my personality, because if I had this YouTube channel 5-10 years ago, it would be just a horrific disaster. And I'm not saying any of these are just runaway successes, but I'm just going to continue to try over and over. Maybe it's just banging my head against the wall, but frankly, I don't care. I have a lot of fun doing this, okay? And you know what? Yeah, just trimming off the stuff that is really unnecessary, and then just trying to grow this bough of a tree, as it were, okay? Just trying to clip off all the dead wood, the unnecessary branches. Eventually something's going to prosper from it. Eventually something's going to sprout from the roots that were laid all of those years ago, and now they're finally starting to come to fruition. That's my hope, though. That's my hope. I'm glad you guys are along for the journey. 2 gratitude practices that you can try in your daily life include keeping a gratitude journal and expressing gratitude. With a gratitude journal, you write down a list of things that you're grateful for on a regular basis. Expressing gratitude is exactly what it sounds like. Expressing grateful feelings to others, such as saying thank you or writing gratitude letters, which then you read to the recipients. That sounds really pathetic, but then again, I think just, you know what, hey, if you're a little bit more shy, you're a little bit more of an introverted person, just being thankful, just being cordial to people who help you out, people that you meet, okay? Erring on the side of congeniality as to adversarial language or just an adversarial disposition, it'll go a long way. I speak from experience. And gratitude to your partner, okay, is also a good way to boost your relationship. Yeah, obviously, because if you just have a combative relationship with them, it's not going to last very long, okay, because that old adage of opposites attract, we're going to have to tear that apart someday, because that's just patently stupid, okay? Yeah, because you might have a yin to your yang, but obviously you guys need to agree at certain things, certain fundamental principles, because if you're different on every single level, you might have that whole real spice of life activity when you're butting heads on certain things, and then the makeup sex might be just wonderful. But that's a cosmopolitan headline, okay? That's just some kind of fantasy island dream, okay? That might sell a bunch of different rom-coms that are out there. That just ain't real life. That doesn't create a lasting relationship, okay? But like I said, another story for another day. Let's wrap this up. Robert Emmons, a professor of psychology at the University of California, Davis, and an expert on gratitude. All right, several tips for living a more grateful life. In an article he wrote for the Great Good magazine, he advises you to remember hard times in your life, which reminds you how much better you have right now, or how much better you have it right now. Exactly. David Goggins refers to it as the cookie jar. Okay, remember the cool things that you did in your life. I'm taking the inverse of this situation. Okay, remember those things that you didn't think that you could do, the things that you overcame, the things that you accomplished. Okay, like for me personally, like I showed you in the first video of the channel, I lost over 200 pounds, okay, by myself. I always have that in the back of my mind. Whenever things get exceptionally hard, I reach into the cookie jar, I pull that out, and it's like, oh, okay, I didn't think, it's like spontaneously I ran a marathon. That's fun. I can get through this morning's run, okay? If I'm just didn't sleep that much, if I didn't have proper nutrition, things are a little bit sluggish, you can get through it. It's 30 below outside. Yeah, that's fine. Eventually this will be over. You will get through it. Memento mori. Remember, all of these things will eventually be over and done with, okay? Nothing lasts forever. If you're in a really bad spot at the time, soldier through it, okay? Use it as a growing experience. Appreciate what it means to be human by turning into and appreciating your sense of touch, sight, smell, taste, and hearing. Use visual reminders, including people, or trigger gratitude. To trigger gratitude, as this helps to combat forgetfulness and a lack of mindful awareness, two primary obstacles to a gratefulness. And make an oath of gratitude, as simply vowing to be grateful can increase the likelihood that you'll stick to the behavior. Post your pledge to count your blessings somewhere where you'll see it often. Yeah, like one of those, Facebook Karens that are out there that just have those goofy little sayings posted wherever they have it, or sharing one of those blurry Facebook memes that are out there. You know the type of people that I talk about, obviously. You probably have a couple of them in your family even. But yeah, at least I take this Bible verse, okay, because I'm not really an overtly religious person. I like the values, okay? Heathens pray in public, okay? So I don't write down this type of stuff. I got my journal and that type of stuff, and I write in it. I got some fundamental values that I always keep to myself, okay? Some of them, which I've shared with you throughout the contemplation of this article, and others that I've expressed other places as well. They're foundational to me. Changing my outlook on life, a game changer. I would not be at the place that I am right now, or at least on the trajectory that I'm on, without doing that, without becoming more grateful, without becoming a more optimistic person, without becoming a more reflective person. It's a powerful statement, and it's something that I hope you guys partake in over this upcoming weekend. So here's a way to kick it off for you if you are partaking in it at the time that I release the video. And if not, whenever this finds you, take a moment to be grateful. Whatever, if you think that you only have something small in life, if you only have just a little bit in life, there's probably something you can be grateful for. Even if you have a lot of stuff, then guess what? Probably have a lot to be grateful for. But with that said, guys, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.